Brothers and sisters in Christ, happy Gaudete Sunday. Rejoice, the Lord is coming. That word Gaudete actually and literally means rejoice. And while we're still moving along on our Advent journey, and even though our land is still fraught with troubles and hardship, pain and sadness, like those suffering through the devastations of the other night's storms. Despite these things, we recognize that we have cause to rejoice, because just over the horizon is the Christmas star, illuminating the darkness of night and guiding us to the one who is our salvation, our redemption, Jesus Christ. I love this time of year. I love all of the different lights and decorations, words like joy and peace, Noel, and peace on earth, goodwill towards men. I like to sit by a fire and sip hot chocolate. It's one of my favorite things. Christmas carols, hearts all aglow, gathering together with family and friends, lots of delicious food, cookies, stockings, presents, parties. All of those things that make up this time of year, I just love it. Some of my fondest of childhood memories are decorating and Christmas carols around the tree, St. Nicholas leaving presents. All of those things come around this time of year. And I was feeling all of that warm sentiment and thinking of all these happy things when I sat down to write this homily, which, by the way, today's readings do an excellent job illuminating just where we are on our Advent journey. And so as I was sitting in my nice, warm office with my belly full and visions of sugar plums dancing around in my head, I began to read the gospel for the day. The crowds asked John the Baptist, "What should we do?" Full stop. That one's easy. Eat Christmas cookies and lay around the house. All right, let's continue. Whoever has 2 cloaks should share. Okay. We're supposed to do nice things around Christmas time. I got it. It makes sense. I guess a Christmas cookie can wait for a little while I take some time to give. Let's see. He also talks about tells those mean old tax collectors that Jesus, by the way, happens to love a lot, to stop taking extra from the poor. Sounds pretty good. We should all be nice to the poor. I saved a lot of money, actually, a few weeks ago on Black Friday, so I might have a few extra dollars to throw their way this year. Let's see. Don't extort people. Check. No false accusations. Double check. Be satisfied with your wages. Well, there's always next Advent, right? Brothers and sisters, I could go on, but to make a long story short, good old John never gets to the Christmas cookies. Instead, the gospel writer makes sure to highlight the expectation that the people had in their hearts. Their bellies weren't full, and I promise you there were no Christmas cookies anywhere in sight. Instead, what we see is a people whose hearts were ready for their Messiah, whose hearts were ready for the Messiah. They were asking John, "What do we need to do? Tell us, what do we need to do? We'll do anything we need." And there's a sense of desperation, a hopeful expectation. They were ready for the Messiah to come. Are we? And I ask that seriously. Are we ready? Are we ready for the Messiah to come? Like, really ready? Not, I have my manger scene out and my Christmas shopping done ready. But I mean, are we ready? Because, brothers and sisters, to my dismay, as I was reading this gospel passage, John never makes it to the warm fire with the hot chocolate and cookies. Instead, the fire that John makes it to is an unquenchable one. He brings us to the threshing floor, a cold, hard surface where the harvester would bring the grain he had harvested, and he would beat and pummel that grain over and over again with all of his might, separating the good, edible part of the grain from the bad, scaly part, the chaff. And after the beating had finally ceased, and the good was separated from the bad, according to John, the harvester uses his winnowing fan to clear the floor, casting the bad grain out into the unquenchable fire. The same kind of unquenchable fire that Jesus talks about later, where there will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Whoever has ears ought to hear. Are we ready? What sort of grain are we? Have we been turning to God in prayer? Have we gone to confession recently? Have we given to the poor and those in need? Have we been selfish or self-giving? Brothers and sisters, I'm not a fire and brimstone kind of preacher, but God's prophet John is challenging us today. He's holding us to the flames. This is not the time to be sluggish. It's not the time to be complacent. So enjoy your cookies and decorations, but let us be ready. Let us be ready. Ready to love. Love our families, our friends, love strangers, love enemies. Let us give and forgive. Care for the poor and those in need. Let us make of ourselves a gift to others. Let us be Christ to everyone that we encounter, so that when he does return and we stand before him, he sees himself. He sees himself in us. Let us prepare the way of the Lord, because his arrival is imminent. It is imminent. Whoever has ears ought to hear.